Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my new Let's Play series called Towns. And Towns is a pretty amazing game. It's a brand new game that was released recently. It's not 100% brand new, it's not like released yesterday or anything. But it's a game that's in constant flux. Basically, the developer is working and adding new features all the time. I would say it was kind of released sort of like how Minecraft was released. It was released early, but you know the developer promised to add more content, of course, and keep updating it. And that's what this developer's actually been doing, and he's done a lot of updates. I'm not even quite sure. I noticed it says 11A here. I'm not sure if he's done 11 releases since it's been released on retail or not. But I did check some of the patch notes, and he adds quite a bit of changes, and I noticed even the UI has changed quite a bit over time. So yeah, Towns I would compare it to. I can't compare it to, I guess some people would say Dwarf Fortress. I never had the privilege of really playing that game. Minecraft, Terraria, Ages of, why was I going to say Camelot? Ages of, I can't think of that name. Ages of Empires, too. There you go. Look at I'm derping up here. I would compare it quite a lot to that as well. So it's a really neat game. We're going to start playing with it. So there's an exit button here. There's the credits here. It shows there's 3 credits, so there's only one programmer, I think. Code, design, and song, graphics and design, and music. So there you go. Here's the options. There's language. Right now it's in English or Spanish. I'm sure if people wanted to, they could contribute other languages. Here's the controls, and the nice thing about this is you can actually go ahead and change them. A lot of indie games, unfortunately, don't have the ability to change a lot of the controls, I know, so I don't know why. Here's some options. So I turned off a few of these and set them. So mouse scroll off, basically I use WASD instead of the mouse, and you can also use the arrow key, which is cool. What is this? Allow mouse scroll while hovering at the edge of edge buttons off. Okay. Newly built stockpiles and containers have all the items disabled by default. I did turn that on. Basically, when you make a storage container, you have to actually tell the storage container what you want to be put in there before the villagers can actually fill it up, which is a really key feature, I think. It should be on by default, really, because you kind of like make storage containers and all your villagers will run left and right and try to collect everything, and it just makes it easier to organize. Pause the game when it starts. I just said on, sure, why not. Autosave is disabled by default. I'm not sure if there could be issues related to that. I did turn it to 1 day. Hopefully we won't have an issue, but either way, it's autosave, so we won't have too much of a problem. We have sieges here. It can go hard, insane, and disabled, easy, and normal. Most people do suggest that you keep sieges on because that's part of the game. I'm going to leave it on normal. I've never done a siege. I've only played like a couple hours just to familiarize myself slightly with the controls and understand some of the basic mechanics. But besides that, we're gonna have a lot of fun learning that. Pause the game when a siege starts. This sounds very reasonable. It sounds like when you're AFKing, etc. It pauses the game, and then you can be like, "Oh crap, there was a siege." Thankfully, it was paused, and I could defend my town without, my town blowing up while I was sleeping. Audio settings, I have them adjusted. You can change the volume, and you can turn them on or off for both music and FX. I've turned mine down quite a bit, hopefully not too low, and hopefully just enough so you guys can hear some of it in the background. Graphics, you can toggle full screen, and that's about it. So, and then you have save games and then play. So we're going to start a new game. There's some tutorials. I'm not sure how these tutorials are. I haven't even touched them. I'm more like a person who likes to discover new things and be like, oh my god, if I knew that from the start, I wouldn't have had to make 60 episodes of this wasted... But anyways, maps. So you got normal, desert, jungle, mixed, snow, mountains. From what I've heard, normal is the best way to start. It's sort of like all-rounder, you got everything you need kind of thing. So we're going to start normal. So let's call it LP series. Let's play, basically, and we're gonna go okay, and yeah, let's start here. So it's generating a seed, and we'll see what we get out of it. Generate changes. So just like, oh, look at this. Looks like we started a nice little flat area. Nice, nice, nice. Some mountains. Awesome. Not too flat, but pretty good. Oh, and look at this. Got some mountains here too. So we look for villagers first, which are piled right here. If you hover over them, and if you like hover over a tile, it tells you what's on there and any information. So when we hover over this tile, it tells you everything. So of course all your villagers are in one tile and it tells you lots of information. So yeah, it's a nice map. It's always best to just look around and see what you have. I'm a person who prefers just to build where he starts. I'm no artist and no decor kind of, you know, whatever. So, oh, this is cool. I'm not sure what this is. Gravel. Lots of gravel. So, we started here. Everything seems least hostile over here to there. I mean, things could pop up over time, but yeah, this is really nice. Beautiful. Even the birds are paused. Haha. Okay, so here we are. We're in the game. So the first approach when you start the game is let's see if I can do this, guys. This is honestly something really new to me. So I guess maybe I should start with the interfaces instead. Make this as an episode about the interfaces and how things work. So up here you have different interfaces, information. So this one here is system messages. So first of all, it tells you the version, which is 11A, and it also says game paused, which is good news. And you can click them up here or click them up here. So the next one is, I think this one's hero messages. Okay, so we don't have any heroes, but any of their kind of messages and information would be there. Combat messages, anything combat related would be told here. And then announcements, which I'm not quite sure, I guess, announcements in your city. And I think when you hover over these, when things are happening, they will even tell you the information here. Well, for example, this one says towns and the version, so you see it does tell you a little brief recent log of what was in there. So that's kind of cool. So here we got citizens menu, and also I noticed this here, you can use your R key or E key, it says, but you can actually go to the next citizen. Of course, all mine are sitting here, so it wouldn't really move around, but you could actually scroll through all your citizens if you wanted to. You can click this and you get a huge menu, which I have no clue what you're supposed to do. Oh, you can hover over here. So you got your HP, attack, defense, and damage information here. Happiness turns to eat, turns to sleep. That's awesome. So you got all the information, and they have all these names to them. And they got villagers, different colors, and that's cool. There's lots of randomization. You got equip. You can equip head items, body, legs, feet, and weapons. So that's really cool that you can actually equip them. You can enable auto-equip or disable it. I'm not quite sure how that works. Maybe you just click that while there's items in the game. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. Convert to a soldier. Jobs. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So I guess they're probably defaultly set to enable all. Yeah, if we disable them all. Oh, okay, there we go. You get the X. So you can actually set certain villagers to certain jobs. That's cool. And job group. Something I have no clue about yet, but that's something we learn over time. And you got job groups down here. So it's probably actually these. So there's a group of guys here. Maybe they're my tree farmers or whatever, and they be in here, etc., etc. That's probably how that works. So you got your soldiers menu, which we have no soldiers, but I assume it's probably the same principle as the villager one. You got a stock panel, which, wow, I think this tells you all the stock you have in the game, I guess. Tells you everything you have. So you got materials, raw food, weapons. Wow, look at all the different weapons they have in this game. Wow. That's really interesting. All the armors. Holy crap, that's a lot of different armors. So you can see this is almost like your Terraria amount of accessories, which is really neat. Utilities. Interesting. And vanity. Wow. I did not know this even exists. This is the very first time I've clicked this button, so I'm just telling you guys I'm brand spanking new to this game. What is this? Priorities panel. Oh, okay, I think I get it. So your priority in this game is baking and cooking, then gathering, then mining, then tilling and chopping, than item construction. So I guess you can move these up and down. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So you can set, you know, what you think is more higher priority. That's kind of cool. You got a date, month, and year, so that's really cool. I'm not sure what this 51 is. Looks like some kind of coin. I don't know what you use the currency for, but yeah, 111. So this would be interesting that there's an in-game thing. We'll see how fast that actually goes. Heroes. We don't have any heroes in town. And then we got trade carnival panel, and we have no carnival, I guess, in town right now, so we can't clearly do anything. And then over here you got a lot of options as well. You got the speed control. I do know that it goes up to 3 times speed or 1 time speed, and I do know the next update is going to bring it to 5 speed. I enjoy kind of just reading around a bit and learning about, you know, I think my favorite thing, even not understanding a game, is reading update notes. I enjoy updates, so I kind of was like peeking through them. And of course is your play and pause button. Which we have it paused right now. And then you have flatten blocks. Oh, okay. This is a Z key too, it says. So this, I guess, helps you when you're working around. So let's say you're building around here. Well, now it's really flat, so you can easily build a lot better around certain areas and actually see it. So that makes a lot of sense. Also removes trees and debris. So that's very useful, actually. You have a 3D mouse. I'm not sure what the 3D mouse means, to be honest. Does the mouse look just different, I guess? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what 3D mouse is. I'll see if I can figure that out one day. I don't even know if that was enabled originally or not. Huh. You got your settings panel here, which lets you, of course, change some of these settings. Same stuff as before. And what else do we have? Oh, okay, so I think that's it. So, you have a grid. Should have shown this, of course, which is really handy, of course. I mean, all games like this have a grid. It's awesome. This one includes it. And the flatten the blocks. Okay, and oh, flatten blocks near cursor. Is that, or was it already on? Oh, no, that's the Z. Oops, there we go. We had it already on. So, flatten blocks near cursor. Oh, these kind of blocks. Okay, that makes sense. So, like trees, see that? There we go. That makes a lot of sense now. Sweet. So I guess the biggest thing on this panel is learning your zooming. So you can use it with your mouse button, or you can use this up and down, or you can use Q and X, which is really nice because that kind of works with your WASD if you're somebody who's using that to move around, which of course I am, or you can use the arrow keys. So I'm going to use the mouse button. So you can zoom in to 0. You can zoom in further. As far as I know, you can go down and mine stuff. But it sits at 0, it looks like, till you actually get to that point. So until we start digging down, the lowest you can go is 0. I guess they don't want you to get a sneak peek of what's down there, right? And then you can hit, zoom out 1, which is basically where you're always at. If you put your cursor on the ground and that's where you're planning to build something, if it says grass or wild wheat, or even shows the boar on there, then you know you're on the right tile. So if we went to 2, you can see hovering everything actually says air, because you're actually 1 higher now. You're at this level here. You're not at this level anymore. Actually, no, you're at this level now. You're not at this level anymore. And if you zoom out again, then you're at this level, not this, not this. And then you can zoom right out and get an idea of what things look like out here. So you can see some of these hills here, pretty big hills. Big hills over here. So it gives you a zoom out so you can see exactly, everything. So most of the time you'll probably be playing at this layer, I would assume, which is what I would be playing at. So yeah, that's that panel. So now we got these, you're probably wondering, well, where's everything else? Well, there are these things here. So this is, does it say what it's called? I think this is some kind of like automation panel. So you can tell it to, I would like it to grab raw fish, and keep a minimum stock you want, or I think this is like a queue, so tell me to grab 5 fish now, which is cool. A better thing here is like, you know, harvest wheat, sugarcane. We'll definitely get into this soon, but this is sort of like an automation menu of giving orders of things that should be done all the time, I guess. And down here, and if you click these again, it turns green and the actual menu stays open, so that's kind of handy. Down here we got harvest, chop, cut, dig, mining, till, stockpile, zones, delete scaffolding, and cancel order. So scaffolding in this game is like a free little building item tool. Basically you can use it to get up higher. So let's just say I mined all this out at this layer, but you know, I have stone, you know, floating in the air, kind of like Minecraft. You would need scaffolding to get up to it to mine it out. So scaffolding is just a tool to help you build with, and I'm not a builder, unfortunately, and I'll try to use it here and there, but a lot of people who like to make, you know, really elaborate things will definitely be using scaffolding. So harvest is just going out and ordering it to harvest things like the wheat. I think there's apple trees and stuff. Yeah, look at this, apple trees and pear trees. That's really cool. So, you know, harvest goes out and harvests things like that. Chop, of course, chopping trees down and stuff. Cut, I'm not quite sure what cut is. I wonder if that's more like kind of clearing an area but not actually gathering the resources. But we'll learn over time. Dig and mining, they kind of go together, and I don't know if they work exactly the same, but dig is, it'll dig at his feet here, so he'll actually go down one block, where mining is actually that block, so he will actually dig this here. So here, so you see this layer here, this that's upwards, it will mine that, but if you hit dig, it'll actually go down one layer. And tilling is where you would till the land and create, you know, crops for farms. So I'll probably try to do the wild wheat. We got a couple around, which is actually nice. And then I'll try to start a wheat farm. And then you have your stockpiles. This, I believe, is where you just place stockpiles here, and you know, you can say raw materials and please put it here, for example, I guess. And then, you know, for now on, all the raw materials will go here. Though a lot of people, I don't think, use these as much. Well, they may. I could be wrong. There may be many uses. I personally don't think I'll use it as much because I prefer just to leave my resources in the middle of nowhere, and then it's an unsafe habit. Or using barrels. But like I said, I've only played like a couple hours, so I'm a noob. Don't take my word when I say you should use it or shouldn't use it. Zones. These are... this is where it gets a little more complicated. You place like carpentry down, for example, here, and then you build certain carpentry items here. So you have everything from tavern, balconies, to arena, barracks, market, tavern room. I mean, it's insane how many options there are. So let's go back here, and then we have another menu here. I'm gonna just defaultly open. You can build walls. You're gonna put, you know, walls here. Oh, well, I can't even do an example of the outline just because I can't build them, period, yet. But that's how you could do walls and such. The different materials, but the biggest thing in here was this over here, utilities, which is what you would build future things. So what did I do? Carpentry there. So I would do a carpenter's bench here, and I can say I want one there, one there, and one there, and now they'll build the carpentry if I have enough wood, etc. So you got everything here. You got even things like mill, fluids elevator, coloring mix bench, a butcher's table. I mean, you got lots of things. An ITE smithy, a magical bench used to construct ITE based items. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things we're gonna be definitely learning over time here. And the containers, is which I've actually placed a couple before. The raw material barrel, and there's a food material barrel. There's a prepared food. Oh, that makes sense. A tool chest, a decorative chest, IT chest, a weapons cabinet, an armor cabinet, and a back button. So, yeah, lots of things to learn. Definitely not your, oh, 1, 2, 3, I know everything kind of game, but I kind of enjoy trying to explain some of the interfaces before we even get to, start playing. This is a video of trying to explain just the basics of the interface mechanics, and just to give you a little overhaul. And hopefully this helps you understand how in-depth and complex this game can get, and there's a lot more that I don't know about this game, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So before we finish this episode, we ordered them to build a couple workbenches there. You can do this cancel order and drag it here and cancel it. Also, to delete these, I tried it for the longest. I spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to delete these little areas, like this carpentry area. I thought there was a button here, but I found out just right-clicking it, delete, would delete the entire pad. Boom, gone. Doesn't exist now, which is great, and that doesn't cost resources. Setting zones don't cost resources. Basically, to them, they don't see anything on the ground. It's basically saying, for me, it's a visual aid saying I designated this as say, a hospital, which I didn't even know that was there until I saw that plus symbol. That is cool. There's a lot of things I don't know, guys. One more tip, when you're doing a lot of things, for example, if you wanted to say chop this, and let that go, this would have an order of chop. Actually, yeah. Did that have a chop? No, maybe that's not a tree. But if you go like this, and say chop this, you got an order of chop. But the problem is when you go and say, you have to click this every time, because I can't drag this. Well, if you use chop and use the shift button all the time, you can do multiple orders like this over and over and over. And that's kind of how that chop feature, or the shift feature, works on, giving the same order over and over. So let's go ahead and cancel that, and I assume it works with the cancel also. Yeah, it does. So it's probably best to cancel all this, so our next episode when we get started, it's not like, uh-oh, what happened? I think that was it for warning orders anyways. Cool. So yeah, that's the basics. That's the very first episode, just the basics of the interface. And the next episode, we're going to try to build something, probably build a farm, and I'm excited and scared at the same time. Let's just put it that way. This game is, it's definitely a learning curve at first, and I'm not like the smartest person out there, so hopefully these videos will help new players, as well as give some laughs to even older players watching a newbie play, and you'll probably be screaming at your team monitor the whole time saying, "Oh God, Kane, why can't you do this right?" But hopefully it'll be a good series, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.